If you are here live, just sorting out a few technical details, so hang with me. Do, 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 do. Trying to sort out a few things for you guys. And we just kicked off. So if you're just joining us, we are watching USA versus Trinidad Tobago. Sorry, I have a little bit of a frog in the throat this morning. We're trying to get you a live feed. I think we're going to try and put a small video feed here in the bottom right hand corner. We'll do this live, so forgive me. And we'll lock that off for us. There we go. So I'm going to switch some things up. I'm going to put my OBS over there, and I'm going to watch the game full stream over here. Full screen, I mean. Oh, it messed up my cropping. No, I see what I did. Doing things on the fly here. Sorry, everybody. There we go. Now we actually. Oh, what an absolute heartbreak start for the United States. Going down 1-0 to Trinidad Tobago. Come on, USA. Unacceptable. No replay. I didn't even get to see it. I was setting things up. That's how quick futsal is. Hopefully, our boy Jake can join us soon. Futsal is a fickle game, so 1-0 is not a huge deal. Always time, always room to come back. I think the smarter play there is to dish it out wide, play the ball back across. It's just my opinion. Defensively, we look in a shambles. Come on, boys. I'm gonna sort something out real quick, so forgive if there's a bobble here. Pull this over here. Here's the replay of that goal. Not a very good replay. It's just a well taken ball. No pressure on the ball. Oh, thanks for the comment, Jake. Thanks for throwing that up in there. Yeah, it's on CONCACAF Go and also on YouTube. This game is on CONCACAF Go and also on YouTube, but they have a geo block on it. So if you have a VPN, you need to get out of the United States and find a country where they're going to let you see it. Welcome in, welcome in. If you guys are watching along with us, welcome into the stream. We're watching USA versus Trinidad and Tobago in the CONCACAF Championship tournament down in, I think it was Nicaragua. I can't remember exactly where they're playing. Trinidad Tobago went up really early in about the 18th minute with a nice, well struck goal, just a 1v1. Buried it. Taking a look at the new U.S. coach, see if he can get things done in CONCACAF. Well struck goal. Well struck. Well struck. It's unfortunate. USA should be dominant in this game. USA should be absolutely dominant versus Trinidad and Tobago. This is an unacceptable performance in my book. Welcome in, Super Ato Z11. Thank you. The feed is not working on the Tubi as they after. Yeah. Welcome to CONCACAF, my friend. Welcome to trying to watch things in the USA. Good interplay. Looking a little bit better for the US, a little more positive. Still, uh, not an acceptable performance in my opinion. They should be dominant, just like we should be dominant in outdoor. The reason we only have it small in the bottom right hand corner is because we're trying not to impose on the copyright of this stream. We're not trying to present it as we're watching the stream or duplicating the stream, but want to give you a little bit of a reference of what's going on. But we are sidecasting. We're adding our own commentary to it. We're not playing the commentary that's going along with the stream. Hopefully, we don't make anybody mad. We're not trying to make anybody mad. Trinidad and Tobago look fairly organized. Murati is such a stud. Unfortunately, he gave up that goal. Finish. Ooh. So far, I really don't like the ideas USA is coming up with. This has to be finished. That has to be finished. That has to be finished. Are you joking me? That is unacceptable. You have to finish that ball at this level in CONCACAF. Sorry, son. Pack your bags. Go home. Go home. It's not good enough. Go home. It's not good enough. I mean, it's decent. It's okay. It's just the ideas are weak. To me, it screams of an indoor coach. To me, it's this reeks of an indoor coach. Let's roll in again. Well, I know that's exactly the point I'm making, Bethany. That's exactly the point I'm making. I to me that whole comment I'm making there is that we ditch we fire a coach with futsal pedigree, and this is who we bring in. He has a long way to go for me. I'm not gonna write him off yet, but to me, the ridiculousness of the American culture in indoor is insane. It's insane. I don't understand it. I don't get it. The rest of the world is playing futsal. No one plays indoor. No one. No one plays indoor. We do.
Hello, check, check. Hello.
Jake. Yes, 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 sir.
Yo, what's going on?
Not much. Let me make sure we're all good here. There we are. What's up, Jake?
Man, it, I just tweeted out. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I think the governing bodies of FIFA don't want us to watch futsal. They're making this so hard for no reason.
Massel is involved. MASL is involved.
For sure. I don't think we're alone on that one. Absolutely ridiculous. So,
So,
guys,
Jake,
just so you know,
go
I
ahead.
am home with my kids, so you're probably gonna hear some background noise you probably don't normally hear on stream. So,
Oh, you're
uh,
good.
I do apologize.
So, Jake, the point I was making, I made a Bethany Williams made a comment in the chat. He's an indoor coach, lol. And to me,
Yeah,
that's the
that's
point
the
I'm
problem.
making. That's the point I'm
Yeah.
making. Is this looks like an indoor setup?
Yep, 100%. And I was listening to before I locked in with you guys. I was listening to the commentators in the lead up to the game, and they made a comment that he has 24 years of experience as a professional in futsal, and that's not true. His professional career is 24 years, but only 9 of it is in futsal, and the rest is in indoor soccer here in the states. Which is not a knock. If you know futsal, great. If you're the guy for the job, great. But I would argue that the last coach we had was more qualified, and we got rid of
Mm,
him.
mm.
Ridiculous.
That's the point I made too. That's the point I made too.
Did you look at the rosters on the CONCACAF page? Oh,
No,
there we
but
go.
we
There's
we have a
one.
goal. We have a goal.
Sloppy, but they all count the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a scramble, but hey, we'll take it.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm gonna fix the chat
Marcelo,
so
I think that the reason that the games are geo-blocked for the United States is because supposedly Fox has the right to these games. So a lot of times when these big regional tournaments are dealing with multiple countries that have potential viewing rights, uh, they will geo-block the games for the countries that have someone televising it. I have not gone to Fox to I mean, I don't even know which version of Fox. There's 8 different Fox sports channels. I don't know who got the airing for this. It's not specific on CONCACAF's website. So what we've done is log into a VPN in a country that does not have TV rights, so we can watch it on YouTube. That's a good workaround for you guys if you're ever looking for these regional contests and for some reason they're not showing up for you. If you have a VPN, then just log in a different country, and a lot of times it'll unlock it for you.
Mhm. Hopefully it's working now. I think we're on Twitch as well, and I'm neglecting Twitch, and I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Can you keep track of that Twitch chat for me, Jake?
Yeah, let me log in over there.
And if there's 0 people there and we don't get anybody, we may just kill it.
It might be.
Marcelo, the VPN wow. To me, the 1v1 defending is poor. The 1v1 defending is poor. It's too casual. Marcelo, the
Yeah, it looks.
VPN I am using is something that we're using with National Futsal Premier League. They're generous enough to let me borrow it. Um, it's also something we use to kind of bolster internet with some bonding. But what I use is Speedify. I can put that in the chat, I guess.
And I'm using NordVPN right now. NORD VPN. It's subscription based. I think so is Speedify, but um, that's something that you guys can look into as well. ExpressVPN is another very popular one. I see a lot of YouTubers that advertise that get sponsored by them and do stuff with them.
Hey Jake, FYI, I'm gonna have to dip out here to go to kids soccer game, but I'll hang out till the very bitter end.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and I'm keeping half an eye on the baby. She's sleeping, so you guys might my youngest daughter might make an appearance today. She might be
Goal!
hanging out on
Hey, let's go.
Hey, there we go.
Okay, seeing some signs of life.
Mozilla VPN, nice too for $8. That's a good shout out. Zati Banda. Did I say your name right? Thanks for joining us in the stream, guys. This is awesome. I wasn't expecting this many people right off the rip.
Yeah. Welcome. I made the comment earlier, Jake, that same as the outdoor scene, USA need to be dominant. That's just where we need to be as a nation. The resources, the population, where we need to be as a country, we need to dominate this tournament, especially
For
with
sure.
the likes of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, I mean Trinidad is a massive underdog in this, even with the dysfunction that the United States has suffered at the national level for futsal. So, I mean, it's got to be. This is no excuse, must win. I think the
Yeah,
only team in this group that should give us trouble is Guatemala.
yeah. I'm looking at Costa Rica as well, but they're not in a group, are they? Are they in a group?
Costa Rica's not in our group, but Guatemala is.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we've got Trinidad
Yeah,
today. We've got
Guatemala.
the Dominican Republic
Yeah.
tomorrow, and then Guatemala on the last day to decide that
So,
group. In my
so
opinion,
Guatemala should be, the only the other shout, but Costa Rica is the other. I'm looking at Costa Rica as another team that's a decent team in this tournament. Maybe not in our group, but Costa Rica has made some huge steps to improve the futsal program in their country.
absolutely, and they're the winningest country in CONCACAF as it is, and then they've made those improvements. That's scary. I mean, I don't think that anyone is touching them for a while.
No.
Uh, in the last championship, we did keep up with Costa Rica till the end, which was promising for the program.
Yeah.
So that's always good. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, I think this year, this team for me, the U.S. team does not look as good as it did last time. And another thing
Mm-mm.
too that I think is different compared to the last tournament's implications was that it was in the middle of COVID, and I think that a lot of countries didn't have the facilities to train and prepare like they normally did. So the USA was able to kind of take advantage of that a little bit as well. If I can be give the rest of CONCACAF a bit of credit,
Right.
countries that normally play better than they did, like Canada and Cuba, just didn't show up. Z, all right, cool. Sorry I mispronounced your name, brother. To answer your question, it's a fish tank in the back. Um, I know it looks a little goofy with the lights out now, but because of my work schedule, I like to enjoy the tank in the evening with my family. So I usually leave them off until like the mid afternoon. So you guys may see the lights pop on at some point and see with a few of the fish back there, but it desperately needs cleaned. So don't judge me.
I think everyone's enamored by your huge fish tank. I don't think anybody judges you.
Yeah, definitely not compensating for anything. It's 240 gallons. So it's a bit. That was an ask for forgiveness, not permission deal with my wife. So don't be like me, fellas. Oh, CJ's in the chat. CJ, what's going on, man? Good to see you. CJ's in the thick of some cup competitions in Northern Ireland right now with this team Afro-European, and they won their group and even toppled regular season champs Belfast Sparta. So they're on a
Nice.
bit of a roll. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the knockouts, man. This is gonna be awesome.
CJ, I feel bad. I should have wore the jersey. I have the jersey. Jake gifted it to me. I should have represented today.
I know. I This is the first time on this channel I've worn stuff that isn't futsal related because I just wanted to make sure I was present.
Right.
So I'm not very prepared today. I broke my my streak almost 2 years with strictly futsal gear on
Nice.
the channel.
I've shown up in my work clothes before because I just had to.
Sometimes you just got to do what gets you on live. That's the important
Right.
part.
Right. Jake, tell me now. Now I'm being critical, and I'm not sure what I'm looking at. But talk to me about the
Ooh.
movement you see from the USA, the movement on the ball and off the ball.
Well, I'm with you. I think the movement off the ball, particularly, especially on defense, it's been a little stagnant. It looks like we're doing a high press. Um, being this far up is definitely pressing high. The important thing for the U.S. is you can't just high press physically being there and then not actually go for the ball. So that last play is a good example of that. Like he kept sticking for the ball the whole time. If you just chase a guy in a high press, you're setting yourself up for a counter. You don't want that. Um, but even now up 2-1, we just look a little. I don't know if it's early tournament jitters or what, but little timid.
Yes.
It
I,
looks
I
like as we've been moving on here, our movement has gotten better on
yes.
and off the ball, but um, like that's a really sloppy challenge. That shouldn't happen. But
Mm.
I mean, it's early. It's early. It's
Sure.
it's not gonna be perfect all the time. But
No. I just
I
I
just
here's what I
I
take
think
is
we look
that
less disciplined.
yeah. As far as the US team, and we just need to come out and like I just don't understand US teams and US coaches like hey, we are superior. We need to come out. We need to dominate. We play it's like we're playing like a team that's still unsure of themselves. You know what I mean? Like a team that's just not
For
quite
sure.
sure if we know what we're doing. And I just feel like dominant nations like Portugal and Spain and all these other powerhouses, they don't come out and think they're better. They know they're better.
Right. There's a certain amount of swagger about them.
Yeah. Their transition game is weak. USA
I'm
is
really
getting
not sure
cooked
about
on the
this roster too.
transition.
I don't know much of the players. What's that?
The USA transition game is weak. Look at this. That's sloppy.
Yeah, this looks like a shell of the old team for sure. I mean, this just
There's just to me it looks like
it's frustrating because
go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we're not the only ones that have gone through this. I watch a lot of what's all across the globe and try to stay tuned in with people who know more than me. And there's countries all the time that are doing bizarre things like not renewing contracts with coaches mid-cycle. I mean, we've even seen some countries out in the Asian Football Confederation that are um, they're like switching coaches now. Like we're about to qualify for the World Cup and we're switching coaches a week before the tournament. That makes no sense.
Right.
And the US kind of has done a similar thing where we were right in the thick of it and really in a great foundational process with our old coaching staff, and then we just
Mm.
like tore it all down and didn't bother to do any kind of training until last month, where they finally went to Argentina and played some club teams. which is fine. It's touches, but I would have liked to see them play some friendlies against some national teams. Um, Meanwhile, Cuba, Costa Rica, Guatemala, all these teams that are way ahead of us on this kind of thing, it's because they're doing those things
Yeah.
and they're organized, and we're
Yeah.
just not organized as a federation.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Uh, what did we say? We're gonna a Z in the chat says Cuba favorites to win or Costa Rica. I'll take Costa Rica all day.
Costa Rica for me, yeah. Cuba looked good in their friendlies against Costa Rica. That was maybe January when I saw those, February. Um, I think that as far as that fourth spot for the World Cup, I think that it could come down to three teams for me. I think it's either going to be Cuba. I could see Canada sneaking away with that fourth spot, or the United States.
Yeah. I'm excited to
But
see Canada. I'm really excited to see Canada.
me too. So, guys, we'll be streaming again this evening as well. So we're going to try and keep this running for as much as we can through as many of the games as we can. But just real life is going to make it a little tough. And I got
Yeah.
some little midgets to chase in between games here. But
I got big
uh,
midgets to chase.
what? And Luke's got big midgets to chase. So we're going to do our best to be a part of as many games as possible. We wanted to make a point to catch at least the first two U.S. games. So we're doing that. I will also be on tomorrow for a mid-afternoon game, but for those two last evening games each night, I will be live for sure.
Yeah.
Luke's going to try and join us if he can. So you're going to see kind of a smattering of both of us or one of us throughout the weekend. So stay tuned. We'll do our best to get you guys this stuff. But this evening's stream will start with Cuba and Canada, which are two teams I'm very curious about. So I wanted to make sure I didn't miss that. And then the final game of the night is Panama against host Nicaragua. So I'm curious to see. For me, I think Panama, Guatemala, and Costa Rica are a lock for the top three. Just my personal opinion. And then I'd call, other than Canada, US, and Cuba being kind of my go-tos for the fourth. I would like to see Nicaragua kind of steal something here. They've been developing futsal quite a bit, kind of under the radar. And then as hosts, get that sixth man, so to speak, would be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind cheering for them and seeing them make it through. Of course, I'd love to see the US make it through, but my confidence level right now and what the federation is doing to support futsal, I don't feel too great about it.
I think as far as developing goes, I think what US is in danger of is finding that CONCACAF has been working on futsal and we have not. I think they're going to find them on the outside, themselves on the outside looking in. When teams like Costa Rica, Guatemala, like you said, Nicaragua, Cuba, all these teams have been putting in work on the futsal side with a concerted effort. And I feel like futsal, like we're in just an absolute shambles. And and we're focusing on indoor, and I think we're going to get left out. I think we're gonna be in for some really shocking news. This is opinion, but I just don't think we're going to be the same team. That's a gut.
Mm-hmm. Slowly, kind of warming up here.
That shot has got to be made.
It does.
That's two. That's two sitters that need to be made. At this level, at this competition, that is inexcusable. But anyway, like I said, I think the U.S. is just going to find themselves lacking.
I agree. I think we're in a bad spot right here with the way that this is developing. The other scary thing too. Carrie. So one of the reasons we have the stream set up this way is because we want to make sure we don't get a copyright strike. This is not our content that we're streaming, so we're already kind of taking a risk by doing this. So unfortunately, no, we cannot make the game any bigger than it already is because it's not our content to stream. I just don't want to lose the whole channel over this tournament.
Okay, I'm going to put that below that. Hold on one second. Marcelo says youth futsal is massive as it compares to adult futsal in the US. 100% agree. So Marcelo, my
Yes.
question to you with your comment is what gives? Why are we in the state we're at in adult futsal when youth futsal is good? I have an opinion, but I kind of wonder what you think.
You guys like my clicky clacks? Sorry about that. I just sent you a message in Discord, Luke. Yeah, I'm with that too. I'm curious what everybody's take is. And then we could probably share our opinions on that afterwards. But I kind of want to hear what everybody else has to say.
Sorry, you guys are seeing all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Thank you for understanding, Carrie. Yeah, I wish we could do more with it. And I don't know how much, in all honesty, CONCACAF's really paying attention, but the YouTube algorithm, the way it works, we just got to be mindful of that, because they will notify them as well if they see something like this. So it's a very touchy subject. We just got to be mindful that this isn't ours to share and to um. So we just got to be careful. That's all. So I appreciate you guys understanding. I know it's not the best case scenario, especially with the geo blocks in place right now, but we're gonna do our best to entertain you guys.
The score is 2-1, USA 2, Trinidad Tobago 1.
2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half, too. There, Jay.
Uh, Marcel, I'm going to give you a chance to maybe if you want to respond to that, I'm going to give you that chance. But moving on to a different point, I wanted to make earlier is uh, I've watched some very talented coaches. I've watched some very talented teams. Maybe not to the talent level of this team, but the concepts translate. The concepts of coaching, the concepts of the play translates. I believe I've witnessed one of the most masterful coaches in U.S. Coach a team with Grand Rapids Ole. I am convinced of that, and the way they operate is on a whole nother level. uh, the defense from the U.S. is has no conviction in it. It has no press in it. Everyone's looking to like they're looking at someone else to do the job for them. There is no press. There's no urgency. They are letting Trinidad and Tobago do what they want in front of like millimeters. It's just tiny, tiny slivers. That can't happen. And to me, the U.S. is defense. And to me, when you're going up a team at the level of Trinidad and Tobago, you should be on them. You should be challenging them every single time when they're close to your goal. It should be an absolute scramble to get whatever done that needs to be done to press that ball.
I agree, 100%.
You can't play zone in the box.
Ooh, looks like the keeper might have gone down a bit on that one.
Like that. Right there. That shot should not have happened. Look how far off the ball he is.
He knows too. Number 6 for us. It's written all over his face after the fact. Who is that? That's Sebastian, I think. Sebastian Mendez. Entertainment value and money. I don't think investors see money being made in adult futsal, and there's never been a prominent futsal culture in the US, which I do believe is changing. I like that, Marcelo. I think you're absolutely right. There's no money in futsal. With the last big swing we took at it, involved, put in a lot of work, and I don't mean to take away from that effort, but I don't think that they are the right people to lead us into the future of a professional scene that can change those things. Um, and I've been hesitant to share these kinds of comments on the channel when I review them in my videos because I like those to try and stay informative and not opinionated. But I think the vast majority of the United States issues is that the people we have in place cannot take it to the next level. They're not the right people to take it to the next level. They've gotten us here. They're founders of the sport for us. They've built that culture behind it that we needed to build the youth game. But there is no outlet at an adult level for me that benefits these kids to look ahead and continue to play. Um, that's why Chris just commented as well. Futsal in the US dies at U12. I agree 100%. I see it all the time with my local academies that are in my area is ECNL takes over and all these other big outdoor clubs because they can get these kids the exposure to a next step. And there's nothing in futsal from here. There's no willing to raise everyone up with them to do it and share in that investment. That's really what I think it is. I think it's a greed thing. So that's my hot take for the first half.
uh, Everybody, if you're experiencing a little bit of lag on the stream, I apologize. I'm having to run my VPN right now, so it messes with my connection a bit. So if you're experiencing a little bit of weirdness on our stream, we apologize. We're doing the best we can.
Ooh, that's a good little turn. Good shout out for Senda there. Nice little zoom in on the shoes.
Was that Cinda?
It was, yeah.
Nice little product placement.
Yeah, right. Someone back in California is cheering right now.
It's San Francisco to be precise.
Is it San Fran?
Yeah, they
I
are.
couldn't remember for sure. Less than a minute. We've got to clean up this half and make sure we don't let any easy ones in at the break.
Right.
I'm curious to see how Trinidad holds up in the second half.
Yeah.
Are they able to keep this momentum? Because it's already starting to swing towards the U.S.
Trinidad looks good, though.
Help them, hurt them? Yeah, I think so. I think they look pretty good.
So, Jake, is it Trinidad that Otto is helping out with?
I think it's the 6 o'clock Eastern game. I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, their opening match is against Mexico.
They have Sergio Busquets on the Senda Gravity socks. I didn't know that. That good goal.
Oh, they do. I think
good goal.
There we go.
That's a great goal.
Looked like some futsal.
That's a great goal.
That looked like some futsal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Ortiz is an old product from the Duchamp days, if I remember correctly, and he is very good. I'm a big fan of him.
See, that type of movement, that type of look, that's what I'm looking at.
Z was asking if we're watching any AFCON. I caught the first day, Z, but I've not been able to find any streams since then. I found somebody, kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, why we're being careful. I saw somebody illegally streaming it and watched that for the day. And caught the first 2 games. I caught the Morocco versus Angola game, caught a lot of that, which was really good. But I haven't been able to find any pirated streams since then. CAF had made a big announcement that they're going to be streaming on their YouTube, and even with a VPN plugged in a couple different places, I can't find them streaming anywhere. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Just keep doing that, see if it works.
Yeah, right.
That guy kicked it at that guy twice. All right, everybody. I am going to give my halftime thoughts here, and then I got to bounce out. But USA, not good enough. What I saw towards the end, that was good enough. I need to see less of this indoor setup. I want to see more of a up tempo. I don't think there's any downside for the U.S. to press this Trinidad and Tobago team. Yeah, you may give up a goal here or there, but on the whole, you should be dominant. You should be dominating this game. And I don't think there's any reason that the USA should not fly full force 100% of the time at this team, going at them, just full guns, and just, to me, run up the score. Send a message to this whole tournament. We are here. We're going to come at you, both guns blazing. And to me, that's not what I'm seeing. I see a guarded, careful, nervous approach to this game. I don't know, man. I just feel like the U.S. just feels like they're not that guy. And I don't understand why. I've never understood why with the outdoor team. I've never understood with any team except for the women's. Women's go out there and they just literally strut their stuff all over the place. And they're like, and they do it and they could back it up. I've just never understood why we look like we don't know what we're doing. We're not good. We're going to be lucky to get out of this tournament. It just boggles my mind to no end. Makes me frustrated with the U.S. all around the whole program, and I think that is why we lose. That is why we're not a good team. Um, we have the talent. We have the players. It's the United States of America, for crying out loud. We're the richest country in the one of the richest countries in the world. There's no reason we shouldn't be one of the top teams.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's a lack of confidence and a lack of swagger about the team, and it does ooze through a lot of the different programs we have. I mean, um, I don't know how you fix that other than really take a hard look inside of your program and see what the heck's going on. But um, I don't understand it at all. For me, and a big problem for the United States just comes back to the fact that, and it's a double edged sword. Like Marcelo said, as we were talking earlier, is there's just not that adult scene here in the United States. But one thing that the national team was working on under Dushan that we don't see anymore was having true futsalers in the team.
Mm.
And these guys were going into tournaments and looking good and playing attractive futsal. And now it looks like we've regressed back to the Keith Tozer days of indoor soccer on a futsal court, and that doesn't win you tournaments. Um, so I hate to crap all over the new organization or to Morier is unproven at the moment. This is his very first match in front of us. That it's actually open to the public to watch. So I don't know. His credentials on paper look decent, I guess, but all that indoor influence concerns me. And some of the players that were starting to show some of that conversion from the indoor style of play to futsal, like Zach Reggett from I think he's currently at Kansas City Comets and MASL. Not there he is in the highlight reel right now as I'm talking. He he's not in this. He's not in the program anymore. I don't know what happened there. We don't see Jeremy Klippball, who was a absolute workhorse for us in the last tournament and was a very pivotal part of our style of play and our defensive personality and character. A lot of big names missing from this, and it's kind of questionable why, other than new coach coming in and wanting to bring in his own guys, regardless of whether they're futsal players or not.
Yeah.
Concerns me.
Well, Jake, I'm going to leave you there. You guys are all in the very capable hands of Jake from Futsal News. I need to go watch a U12 game. Speaking of U12.
Awesome. Speaking of U12, yeah, there we go.
All right, everybody,
Luke,
it's
thanks
been
for
real.
getting us started, man.
All right, take it easy.
You too.
Give me a second. I'm struggling.
Oh, Bethany, that's good. Thank you for that information. He turned down the invitation to the tournament. That's the other thing. MASL playoffs are going on right now as well. So these guys got to make a decision. Are they going to go hang out someplace where are they going to go to this where even CONCACAF themselves has cut funding? So yeah, it's the same problems over and over again that we're hearing throughout these decisions. All right, guys, while we're at halftime, I am going to step away for a quick moment. I just need to tend to my little one, and she's probably going to come down and end up on stream here so we can watch the second half. But if everybody wants to just chill for a minute, and then we'll be back for the second half, guys. All right, guys. Looks like we're getting ready to kick back off. Let's see if I can do this. So again, I appreciate you guys. I know this isn't exactly the most professional looking thing in the world, but working through it to make sure we can watch the games together, particularly the U.S. games. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic so you guys don't have to listen to her eat, but I will be here and talking in the chat the best I can with you guys, so we can enjoy the game together here as we get ready to kick off the second half. All right. All right, guys. Looks like we're off and running. I apologize. You're probably going to pick up some background noise from me feeding this little one here, but curious what you guys are expecting from us, from both teams, really, here as we start the second half. I'd love to see your guys' opinions in the chat. I think Luke had some really good points. I think it's important that we really drive home hard. You saw that momentum to end the half. Now we got to make sure we don't let that break slow us down. I think, in my opinion, um, should be an easy win for the U.S. Let's hope that those early tournament jitters are out and we're back to our normal selves here. This is a really cool stadium. I've never seen it before. At the half when they zoomed out, uh, it looks like the balcony is very steep. Um, so a lot of people just really over top of the arena. I bet the noise in here when it's full is really impressive. I can't wait to see Nicaragua play tonight in the 10 p.m. Eastern game and see what this place can really sound like with the home crowd behind them. I think that's going to be really, really interesting. So I'm really excited for that. US looks like they're in a bit of a low press right now, kind of inviting the pressure from Trinidad and trying to force a mistake. All right, kiddo. Good strength from their pivot to make it that far. That was quite a tangle. Well done. Kind of a waste from Trinidad, but they keep the ball. I know in that first half we talked a lot about the lack of support in futsal, particularly in the U.S., but also that we see from other parts of our region, all the way up through CONCACAF. But oh, what a great little play by Trinidad! Oh, that's unusual from Diego to not be ready for that. Great individual effort. That's his second of the game, I believe, as well. And Junior is one of our regulars, and he's been around since the last cycle that we had in the CONCACAF, but unfortunately, he's become a little bit famous for a couple of bad defensive efforts. But man, he is just such a stalwart in the roster. I don't think we could be here without him. But man, there sure has been a couple memorable moments for the wrong reasons for that poor guy. And you're more interested in the game than your bottle, I noticed. Little guy, little girl. Mhm. Yeah, like I was about to say, guys, is oh, what in the world? Wow. Let's look at this replay. What's he upset about? Hmm. Oh, maybe to in the lead up to that, I guess, huh? I don't know. I didn't see it. So this is the thing Luke was talking about, right? We got to keep this pressure on now. We got to start choking these guys out and take away some of that hope. But a little better high press here. That'll help. VPN connection out of England has the game on the CONCACAF YouTube. Yeah, Z. So right now I'm similarly I went out of continent to be sure. I think that's your best bet to make sure that that VPN works for you guys. So personally, I'm using a Buenos Aires, Argentina IP right now to get access to the stream. England is working uh, as well. So good shout out there, Z. Um, so guys, that'll be the key to ensure that the VPN works for you is because of all the TV rights within Central America on this game, it's going to be a little tricky. So just keep an eye on that and try and make sure you get off continent, and then that'll ensure that that gets done for you and that thing works. Let's take a little play. There it is. Did you guys hear that too? Does that mean you're satisfied? Oh, he did it again. Man, they got Moretti almost again on that. And defense for the U.S. very suspect this game for me. Be in sports. Um, so I think when I was looking on the CONCACAF website earlier today when we were trying to figure this out, it looks like the major provider for this tournament, if I can dig it back up again. Alba Vision was the one that had it in most of the Central American countries. Canada has select matches on One Soccer. United States is listed as Fox, but again, I have not been able to dig up exactly which Fox channel that's on, and it's not specific. It's I don't know why. The problem with futsal for these governing bodies is that there's not enough going on to justify an effort to make it better. But at the same time, they're not doing anything to help us grow it and make it better. It's almost like they don't want it to be big. It might be a handball in the box. It sure is. Was that Junior again? Man, he's having a rough game today. Put that arm up. That's a no-brainer for the referee. He made it nice and easy for them. See what he does. Wow, what a rocket. Look at that. It hit the net that hard and bounced back out? I thought he hit that back, corner of the post structure. Wow. How tightly strung do they have that net? That's like one of those kickback things you use in the backyard, man. What a rip, though. Give that man some credit. What power on that shot. Diego didn't have a chance of seeing that ball. 4-3. See, I agree. What great fight from Trinidad. This is what makes this game so exciting to me is futsal. A goal or 2 up means absolutely nothing in this game. It's still anyone's game at any given time. And I agree with your previous comment too. Futsal deserves better. Absolutely. You know, I'm this one I'm gonna need to change really quick, this little girl. So I'm gonna step away for a quick minute, uh, and get her taken care of and be right back. And then I do have a comment on that that I'd like to share and just kind of get your guys' opinion. So I will be right back in just a couple minutes, guys. Okay. Quick change for the little one. All right, guys, welcome to the worst watch party ever. I've been up twice now. But okay, we're back. Thank you guys for being patient with me as I'm half babysitting, half doing this watch party with you guys. Um, see, that comment is awesome. That's stronger than a grandmother's prayers. Hell yeah. So, guys, when I log back on tonight for the evening games, this one will be down, and then for her the evening, and my wife will be back as well to help with our older daughter. So we shouldn't have the interruptions. I should be able to interact with you guys a little better. So I apologize again. I know for a lot of you in here, the U.S. game was the one that was the most important to you, and that's why you're watching. So hopefully we can improve that a little bit as it goes on. I believe Luke is streaming the U.S. game as a watch party tomorrow. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm pretty sure that was his plan. So that game is at 2 o'clock, and I will be doing the noon to 2 game. So same time here tomorrow, which will be Trinidad versus Guatemala. So we'll see Trinidad in action against Trinidad's got a tough uphill battle here. USA right off the rip, and then Guatemala, which are favorites to win the group. I mean, it's they got a very unfortunate draw. There's no time to warm up here. They got to come in fighting right off the rip, and they're of course underdogs as well. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes for them. But so far, they're fighting like hell. I'm proud of them for it, man. I don't even have any ties to them, but I'm proud of them. This is good futsal. I like it. Bless you. What do you think? Here, I'll bring this down a little bit so you guys can get a little sneak peek at this little girl. I don't know if that did it or not. I'll try again in a minute without giving you guys vertigo watching me shake the camera. Um, Chris, above U12, U14, soccer clubs see futsal as a winter gig or competition to their revenue. USYF and United Futsal focus on events. Our year-round futsal clubs working hard but lose numbers. I agree with you 100%, Chris. I did a video here on the channel after USFF had their Northeast tournament, and they were kind of bragging about how big that tournament was for them, and I agree. That's a huge accomplishment. But I raised the question: what do we got to do to keep this going year round? I would say United Futsal, USYF, USFF. They're all good at doing a big weekend tournament. Um, and I know it's not a sexy Facebook post to be able to put out there, but what are they doing to really advocate for the futsal community within USFF? Uh, you know, USSF, I should say, USFF. They're always very proud to boast that US soccer logo next to their name and brag that they're affiliated. But I'm not convinced that they have futsal's best interest in mind, other than what it does to benefit them. And they're not the only ones. I would suspect that all of them are that way. Everything's kind of a money grab. You look at the USYF national teams and the way that that works. I mean, you go to a regional tryout, is how they word it, but it's all the same coaches that already know who you are. So the parents of these kids are paying money to be evaluated by coaches that see them every week, to get sent off to Kansas City, Missouri, to do it all over again and have to pay for that. And then if your kid makes the squad and and wins that slot to represent the national team through USYF, uh, then they have to pay for the trip. And no other country does this. I don't understand. I mean, I appreciate that we're creating opportunities for our kids and giving them something to aspire for, and those international trips are amazing. Um, but we are kind of discredited by the rest of the world for it not being the actual USSF sanctioned. Now, in our really doing that at that young of an age, I'd say no one, but it just doesn't look legitimate, and it's clearly not legitimate. You don't have to be a detective to figure that out. It's just USYF putting their best players together and saying it's a national team. I'm not sure it should be branded that way, to be honest. I think it should be branded as something like USYF All Stars or something more like that. That is a little more transparent. And halfway through the second half here, that's a nice little move. What's going on, kiddo? Bring this down a little bit. Oh, oh, bless you. Sorry, guys. You're going to experience an earthquake here for just a second. I'm fixing my camera. Oh, I know. We should have way more goals than this. And Trinidad needs, well, with the exception of that pass right. So I was about to give them credit. I was going to say they deserve a ton of credit. This has been very hard fought by the underdogs of this match for sure. USA could definitely clean some things up. I mean, this is not impressive for me. I had my doubts going into this tournament for the US, and I'd say that my doubts are being validated at the moment. This is pretty sloppy. It doesn't look like good futsal, except for in fleeting moments. Um, and when we were trying to play futsal under the old regime of coaches, we didn't even score any goals at the World Cup. So even if we do get through this, you got to figure that it's a wasted slot for CONCACAF for the US to be there because they're just not performing well at all. We're so far behind a lot of the world here on this, much like we were in soccer for a period of time. So hopefully this is a same trajectory and we start to see some continued growth. I mean, uh, to keep things positive, I would say this. I mean, I've said this a lot on the channel as other countries have experienced dysfunction and lack of transparency from their FAs, and when it comes to um, their efforts towards futsal or lack of efforts towards futsal, is us as the futsal community ourselves need to force change and really support things like this. That's why I go to the trouble of using my VPN to find these games and show and be one of the 1,400 people that are watching this stream right now live. Uh, I I find it very very important that we show that we have there is a customer demand for this sport. It's the only way it's going to grow. We need to force change by being there and being loud as a community. It doesn't necessarily mean whinging like I sometimes do here on this live stream today about everything that's wrong, but also, forcing some change by being there, being present, being loud, and saying, yes, we are futsal fans, and yes, we do deserve more, and forcing their hand. Uh, Give them a reason to act differently towards our sport. I'm a real big proponent of that, even when it's hard to do and it is affecting me and the United States directly. Uh, I've tried to talk the talk and walk the walk, when those kinds of things were happening in other countries, and I tried to kind of give a similar rally cry. Uh, we're seeing it in the US just as well, and we need to be mindful of that. Jorge, the matches can be watched live. Uh, Depending on where you are in the world, you may need a VPN. So the way we're watching this right now live is we're on a VPN and we are watching it through CONCACAF's YouTube channel. If you're based in the United States or possibly some other, I haven't confirmed with anyone in the chat, but if you're in any other Central American countries or North American countries, you might also be geo blocked like the United States is. Luke, when he was on with us earlier, was using Speedify. That's a great VPN that is fairly low cost. I'm using NordVPN, someone I've used for a few years for security, little added line of security. Um, there's plenty of other ones, ExpressVPN. There's all kinds of VPN companies out there you guys can use and run through an IP through a separate country. I'd recommend one like South America or Europe, um, so that you for sure are outside of the geo block range and you'll be able to watch these live on YouTube. See what Luciano does with this on this free kick. He's one of the true futsalers in the squad. Luciano plays in Italy. So if you guys aren't familiar with him, he's one of our true futsalers that's in the squad, and he was a big part of our run in the last World Cup. Jorge's in Costa Rica. Okay. Let me see something too for you, Jorge, if you're still with us. I think there was a channel that had the rights to this in Costa Rica. Alba Vision, Repetel, and Teletica are all listed as places where you can watch the match as well in Spanish in within Costa Rica. So if you don't want to go that VPN route and you have access to one of those three, I might have butchered the name, so I apologize if that sounded awful. Oh, great goal by the United States here. Much needed after a big lull. Yeah, it's exciting, huh? Great cross, great cut, little bit of help, but hey, that's good stuff. That looks a lot better. Oh, what? What's wrong? You scored, and now you're being all grouchy. You're not cheering for Trinidad, are you? Uh-huh. Oh, that's fortunate. Pass didn't make it through. Oh. Safe from Gonzalez. Smart. Yeah. I'm curious if we see Robert Dameron in this tournament. He's the backup behind our goalkeeper, Diego Moreri. Uh, Diego's, I think, 38, 39, still playing at a very high level in Italy and for the national team. And Robert Dameron's kind of on the opposite side of that spectrum. He's in his, I believe he's in his early 20s and playing futsal in the National Futsal Premier League here in the United States. He plays for Michigan Futsal Factory, which is based in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Painful for me to say that out loud as an Ohioan, but we won't let those other sports rivalries get in the way of us cheering for our guy, and that's Robert. Robert is a very great talent on the court. We saw him play under Dushan in the Umag Cup a couple of years ago. Yeah, am I talking too much? And he really showed out, and he really looked really good for us. So curious if Robert gets any time on the court today. Hey, if the background noise is too much for you guys on this, oh, a nice little poke in. Let me know. I'll mute myself so you guys don't have to hear this. This is what we needed earlier in the game. Hopefully, we can kind of snuff out some of this Trinidad energy. Oops. Hey, what's the deal? It's not been convincing. Oh, uh-oh. Hey, you okay? What do you guys think of the game so far? opening match for the tournament here as well. So really setting a tone, hopefully. Wow, there we go. There we go. Hey. Wow. Look at that. This is what we really needed. So, and into the last 5 minutes here, it looks like a combination of maybe Trinidad losing a little bit of that energy and touch that they had for most of the game. But US has to punish and assert some dominance here and control this game. There are much larger challenges ahead that are bigger than Trinidad. So we got to be ready. Got to be ready to just pounce on everything and take advantage of those little moments in futsal. So much of it is about futsal is about taking advantage of those kinds of things and exposing those weaknesses. So Bethany, that was Nilton again. Yes, Nilton with another one. The folks from Utica really representing today. Yeah, great shot by him. Real great shot. This is good. Keep pouring it on. Keep pouring it on. Great little deflection by the keeper there. This is my first time watching Teo. I don't know if any of you guys are more familiar with him than me, but really impressed with his strength in that pivot position. He's a great target. Uh, Hopefully the Owls can play off of him and get some passing plays off of him at that point at the top of the arc. But at the same time, it looks like he's got the strength to make that turn and rip that shot like he just did. So, um, pretty impressed with how he's been handling himself up there at the top. Hey, where are you going? He was great. We follow the Utica City team, and my son wanted to watch this because of them. Oh, that's awesome. So Bethany, I think is it the general manager there is Tommy Tanner, if I remember right. And I watched Tommy Tanner as a kid when he played for the Cleveland Crunch in my neck of the woods here in Northeast Ohio. So been I'm not a big arena soccer guy anymore. I've really kind of drank the futsal Kool-Aid, and that's why I do what I do here. But big part of big part of me going down this road and falling in love with soccer was indoor soccer and watching the Cleveland Crunch back in the day with Otto Orff, Tommy Tanner, that dynamic duo of Hector Marinero and Zoran Karic. So I mean, those were the days for me that really got me hooked and wanted and sent me down this path of really just falling in love with the sport as a whole. What a goal by Trinidad! Beautiful set piece, punishing the foul. Tommy Tanner, he's a great guy too. Yeah, Tommy's a good guy. I think Tommy's coming back to my neck of the woods in Akron here next month. They're doing a they're doing a fun little reunion game with two of the old indoor soccer teams from back in the day here in my neck of the woods. We had a team called the Canton Invaders that were based in, of course, Canton, Ohio, just south of Akron. And their 40th anniversary of the team being formed is this year. So they'll be playing the Cleveland Crunch, who are celebrating their 35th year since they were originally formed as the Force, the Cleveland Force. And so all the old guys from those eras are coming out of retirement, dusting off the shoes, and they're going to do a little charity game for everybody. So it's going to be a spectacle for sure and going to be a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to I hope Tommy makes it back. I didn't hear for sure if he was or not, but I hope he does. He's always a fun time. Really good dude. Ooh, great save by the Trinidad goalkeeper there near post. Ooh, bit of a flub there from Trinidad. They got to be careful. We just got a goal update. I thought that that scoreboard might be off. It's 7-4, not 6-4, guys. Even the commentators here were saying something about it, looking suspect. Patty, hey, welcome to the stream. UCFC fans representing. Oh yeah, plenty to watch here for you guys. I know that there's a few players, and then of course the coach. And I know you guys have playoffs going on right now as well too. So this is probably a sensitive time as far as workload for everybody. So, but always so cool to watch your players represent on a national level. I'm sure. You want to stand? Give everybody a good look. Hmm? Just trying to give her a different perspective, guys. Maybe she'll make a little less noise for us, so you guys don't have to listen to a baby instead of watching the stream. I'm sure that's not what you came for. So 2.5 minutes. There's still a lot of time in this thing. A lot of opportunity for both teams. That's what I think is the most fun about futsal is anything can happen, and uh, there's a lot of time, especially with the clock that stop, that stop clock. I mean, one swing in momentum could mean a tie game or completely change the dynamic of this game here in the last couple of minutes. So unlike the outdoor game where you can start heading for the parking lot if you're up by 3 in the last few minutes, you really can't do it here. They must have seen something there they didn't like, but I think Andrade wanted the momentum. We kept the ball. Why not let us continue to play? Let that be a rolling foul. For those of you that don't know, or did they call that against? Oh yes, okay. I'm sorry. I see it now. A little bit of maybe they're calling for a little bit of a shirt tug there. This is good from the United States. Burn some time here. Control the ball. Trinidad's doing. For those of you that might have missed it in the first half, early on, and Luke and I were talking about kind of that early game jitters we were seeing from the United States and them adjusting. And as they were getting in a groove, the high press was a little more potent. And I'm seeing the opposite now from Trinidad, where they're pushing forward on a high press, but they're not committing to it and actually stabbing at the ball. They're just running forward to the space and then stopping. If Trinidad wants to really put the pressure on the United States, they need to truly high press. It's not enough to just physically be there. You got to be an absolute nuisance if you're going to high press for that to be effective, in my opinion. And I'm not seeing that right now from the Trinidad side. They're just not doing quite enough to scare the U.S. into making a mistake and turning over the ball. So if you're going to put forth all that effort to run all the way across the court into the U.S.'s half to pressure their fixo, then you need to do something about it and actually put a foot in and make him feel uncomfortable. And you're in the final minute and a half of the game. It's time to play a little more physical anyway. Don't worry about that foul now. You've got nothing to lose. Um, you know, uh, we haven't had a lot of fouls in this game. It's been quiet for the referees. These guys, if I'm Trinidad, I'm pressing extremely hard, and I'm going to have the U.S. team worried every time they turn their back to me that I'm going to be breathing down their neck, and they're just not quite doing that right now. The U.S. is doing a good job of keeping their composure. Uh, Granted, like I just said, there's really nothing to shake their composure going on right now from Trinidad. But run this thing out, play it safe. Don't let them do anything that's going to become a consequence later. He was so strong. Really impressed with that. Look at that. Yeah, I know. I know. All right, so right there, they said the ball was rolling on the kick in, and that's why there's a turnover. I'm not sure why they're taking the Trinidad's taking the kick from there and not. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Looks like we had a little freeze there. Uh, so with the VPN, we're having some connection issues to OBS, but we're trying to work through it. So I apologize for that. And then since Luke started the stream, I gave him my login info since I couldn't be here at kickoff. And so we're running off of his computer. So making changes on the fly is a little bit awkward at the moment. But it looks like we came away with the win. So we're watching some match highlights now to wrap up the stream. Um, I I don't know how you guys feel about that performance. For me, definitely some early game jitters for the U.S. A lot of things to take overnight tonight and think about as team meetings go on. Oh my goodness, yeah, you agree. Um, so yeah, definitely. I mean, a good result for the United States for sure. Like to see us tighten up our defense a little bit. Like to see us play a little more futsal and not so much of this indoor soccer on a futsal court. I think as the tournament goes on, that's really going to hurt us if we don't figure that out. And unfortunately, that's not something we can fix overnight. I mean, this is just the platform that our guys have to play here in the United States is arena soccer. So what choice do they have, really? Um, so curious to see how we go from here. What I might do, guys, is we may try resetting the stream so I have control of it here and try and watch one more game. So long as this one here behaves and lets me do it. But we might only be able to do the first half of the next game. But I'd really like to see what Guatemala looks like in their opening match as they take on, I believe they're facing the Dominican Republic. So um, what we'll do is we'll wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Those of you that came here for the US game, I hope you had fun. I know we've got some limitations as far as what we're allowed to stream and how we can present this to you guys because we're not affiliated with CONCACAF. We don't have the rights to the stream. So we got to be mindful how we present it. But I hope you guys at least felt like you had somebody to watch the game with, hanging out here with us with this watch party concept. I've seen it work with some other folks in other sports, so trying to bring that here as well. And then if it's a big hit with you guys, maybe we do it with some domestic futsal here in the U.S. So thank you guys again. I'm going to wrap up the stream. Keep an eye out for a new stream to watch some other games. We'll definitely be back at 8 p.m. tonight. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. So keep an eye on my channel. Keep an eye out for those live streams throughout the weekend and through the quarterfinals and semifinals. And we'll continue to do our best here to bring you guys some content. Okay. Thanks again.